Today's episode
is brought to you by Wrath. Yeah, it's a Chardonnay Monterey 2014. Ooh la la.
Welcome to House Wine. I'm Sade, also known as At Just Day, and today's wine is Wrath. I like to go into our wines and spirits store and randomly pick something that looks good, and it's a Chardonnay, and it's a 2014, and I got it because the bottle was so dark and I was expecting it to be a red, but when I uncorked it, to my surprise, it was definitely a white, but also it's made in California, but it's like, whew, you get your bang for your buck. It wasn't very expensive, but what drew me in, and I was like, what in the world? It's 14.3% alcohol, but it's not going to taste like fruit juice. It tastes, I'm not going to say it tastes like adulthood, it's like a happy medium, because before you know it, you're like halfway through the bottle, you're like, let's save it for tomorrow, and you're just sitting around like,
we weren't even halfway through the bottle. We were literally 1/4. And we're sitting there like, wow.
Definitely gonna buy this again.
You said
you gonna feel this wrath. Wrath. If you finish the entire bottle in one sitting, I wouldn't recommend that because you don't have any plans afterwards.
I'm gonna sit back down.
That's basically what happened.
I'm gonna gather my thoughts of what just happened.
It made me rethink any plans that I had after I stood up.
I'm working on a blog post for that. I'm like, can we stop talking about this dang report? We know Pittsburgh is the number one worst spot, socially, economically, health-wise, pretty much any way that you can think of in any category. It's the worst place for Black women. Infant mortality is higher here. It's insane, and the median income for a Black woman is much less here than anywhere else in the major cities. They did these data-heavy research studies. And I'm like, we know this. We've known this for about 2 years. Let's stop regurgitating the data and let's do something about this.
Because the thing, it has nothing to do with the skill set. Like, I've worked at companies where I've had a more advanced skill set than some of my white counterparts, and I've found out that I'm making way less than what they're making, and I've done it for way longer.
And I tell people, tell your coworkers how much you make. Don't be afraid to have those conversations. She's been in her position for 5 years, and she just recently got a raise because she asked council, how come I've never got a raise? I've been here for 5 years, and they said you never asked for it. But growing up, my mom, she instilled in me, ask for what you want. The worst thing that can happen is they'll say no. In my current job, I asked for a raise twice, and I was kind of like calling their bluff because I was like, I need more money. Like, we had moved from downtown to the north side, and at the time I didn't have a car, and I was like, this is taxing on just me being a person. To get to the north side is not the move. Like, I take 2 buses now, the bus and the T. And I said, I'm going to need more money if I'm going to stay in this position, or I'm going to look for work elsewhere. And I listed all these reasons why I thought I deserved a raise. My manager said, absolutely not. And I went to my manager's manager, and I was like, these are all the reasons I deserve a raise. And the manager was like, you got a point. I'm like,
listen, all you gotta do is ask. They could say no, and then you just keep going. But, especially if you right, like,
if the first party turns you down, always keep on striving and asking more people because you're going to get there.
I try to make myself an asset at all times. That's why I've been the one training employees that come on, and I've been the one that's been writing down processes and all this stuff, and I'm like, I always keep a little bit of me unavailable, so a little pieces of my job unavailable to teach people, because if I know that information, then I am still an asset to you,
Right.
and you still need me more than I need you.
That's right. I've been here for this long. I do all of this, and I know a couple other jobs where they're doing all these things and they're making this amount. And
then
they don't
there's-
get raises. So I said, well, I guess I'm giving y'all my 2 weeks notice.
And there's a lot, like, I remember when I worked at John Eagle, it was funny. I loved on customer service there. It was one of the best jobs. It was my first job, but it was so much fun. But I was like, I'm part-time, and I finished college, because I worked all throughout college there, and I'm like, if you guys move me from part-time to full-time, I'll stay, but if you don't, I'm leaving. And they were like, we're not going to give you a full-time position. I was like, I guess I'm going to have to leave, and you're going to have to train somebody
Right.
else.
It's like people are always calling your bluff and trying to see if you'll follow through with what you say. And even if you have to follow through, you have to follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no point. I mean, what's the point in staying someplace where they don't respect you enough to give you the money that you deserve?
Exactly.
You know, just like they said no, there's 10 places that'll say yes. You know, I think a lot of people get stuck in these positions that they feel like,
I need this more than I
yeah,
need.
like, nah.
Like, I remember, like, a lot of millennials are afraid to request off. I was like, my PTO is my PTO. I'm taking it. You accept it or not, I'm not going to feel guilty because you gave me PTO and I'm taking it. Like,
Yeah. Oh man, like, what days do you need off? I have this many hours and I'm taking this day to this day. What do you mean? Well, who's gonna cover your shift? That's not my problem. You gave me PTO. Do you really think that I care about this at this point? Like, that's not how things work. I should be able to take off whatever day I want as long as I have the time. Like,
exactly. And I asked for the day after my graduation party off in high school. And that high school graduation party was epic. I rented out an entire club and we partied till the sun came up. And I specifically said the next day I need that day off because I don't know if I have to, like, I have other things to do. Like, I'm like, that's just not gonna work for me. And I requested off, it got rejected. And I was like, or it got lost in translation that it was rejected. And I came in on my next work day and they said, you had a no call, no show. I said, no, I told you I was not coming in the day after my graduation party.
yeah.
He was like, I wrote you up, can you sign this? And I said, I absolutely cannot sign this write-up.
And a lot of people don't realize when you're getting written up, you don't have to sign the paper. Like, don't feel pressure to sign that. They ask you to sign it because they know you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was just an automatic thing, they wouldn't give you something to sign. They would just say, hey, you're fired. I'm not signing nothing. I'm not signing
They're like,
nothing.
this goes in your file. Can you sign? Absolutely not. I'm not signing.
And they were trying to get me to sign a paper saying, oh, that I admit to being late. I was like, I wasn't late. I told you I couldn't get here until this time, and you were supposed to fix the schedule so that I wouldn't have to worry about that. I told you I could literally not get here until this time. You were like, okay, so I'm not signing that. But you have to. Actually, I don't have to do
And they
anything.
seemed shocked that I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do with my life.
Well, what you gonna do? Fire me? You was gonna do that anyway.
People
If
feel
that-
like they owe the company that they work for something, but at the end of the day, my thing is, if you were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, they would have your replacement on deck like the next day.
And sure, that's what happened to me.
These companies don't
They
care
were
about
acting
you.
like I was the only person that could do this and really sweat me. Every time I needed a day off, they would sweat me about it. Oh, well, who's going to cover your shift? And, oh, well, you know, you are a manager. You have to do this. I'm like, looky, okay? For the amount of money that you're paying me, it's not worth it. And I'm leaving. and I'm turning my phone off. So whatever happens, if this place burns to the ground,
Like
trust
when
me,
I'm
I
on,
don't care.
like when I'm on my day off, I like don't call me. There's so many people that you can call before you call me that I'm like,
y'all will figure it out.
the
Just like
room's
y'all
not
figured
gonna
it out
end if
before.
I'm not there.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're not gonna dictate my life.
Like I was tethered. Like my last boss, she had me and like I have a coworker who she's been there for over like 21 years. She taught me everything I know. She's amazing. But because she doesn't have a college degree, they won't let her become a supervisor. But they'll let her do supervisor things. Are you guys really gonna go? This is going to prevent like the woman is a white woman. I was like just thinking about how many black people though don't have college degrees, and she was working before the computer era, and I was like,
There's a lot of people out here that, these requirements and stuff are stopping them from being able to get into these positions.
They told her, you should go back to college. She's like, I got 2 kids and a husband. When do you think I got time to go to college and a full-time job?
Right. Would you like for me to take time? Are you guys going to pay me for leave while I go to school? Because if not, then I don't think this is going to work out for you.
I don't work for like a company where the road is going to end if we're not here.
Right.
And
Because
then
even if, like, no matter what it is, they figure it out. I would like to thank Miss Charlotte Jones, the youngest man.
and I would like to thank Lindsay McNelson for being amazing.
And y'all should know me by now. It's Angeline TV. If you ain't already, like, subscribe, tell a friend.
We're here.
Every week.
We love y'all. Later.